Sergeant Kane, come in. Sergeant Kane, come in. I desperately need reinforcements immediately. Sergeant Reeves and I were searching for supplies when we were ambushed by hordes of zombies. The city has fallen. I couldn't save him. So sorry. We are underarmed and I also got bitten. I'm gonna die. Please, somebody. No. The zombies are breaking in. I only have one mag left. I don't know if I can hold them off. I'm sorry, Lieutenant.
After the immense success of the original Resident Evil back in 1996, a sequel was inevitable, and it arrived just 1 month after the release of the first game. Despite the team's prior experience, the development of Resident Evil 2 faced significant challenges, leading to a rough development process. A preliminary version known as Resident Evil 1.5 was worked on for a year before being scrapped, even though it was reported to be nearly complete. This development cycle was marked by the hardships, to the extent that Shinji Mikami, the original director from the first game, now working as a producer, took a step back from his role due to disagreements with the Hideki Kamiya, the director at the time, regarding the game's direction. To make matters worse, they faced another setback when Mikami's supervisor Yoshiki Okamoto expressed dissatisfaction with the initial demonstration. As a result, they were forced to restart the entire development process from the scratch. While they were able to salvage some assets, most of the game required a complete overhaul. This presented them with a challenging deadline and months of intense hard work ahead. Fortunately, all the efforts pay off when Resident Evil 2 was finally released back in 1998, receiving widespread acclaim. The phenomenal achievements of the development team should never be forgotten. They managed to scrap an almost complete game and still deliver an even better experience.
I'll meet you there.
Okay.
After the disappointing sales and mixed reviews of Resident Evil 6, Capcom CEO Kenzo Tsujimoto recognized that the series was heading in the wrong direction. It was evident that the changes needed to be made. Instead of solely focusing on competing in the North American market and trying to rival blockbuster titles like Call of Duty or Battlefield, Resident Evil needed to reconnect with its roots and rediscover the elements that made this series successful: horror. Additionally, with the advent of the new generation consoles, a visual overhaul was necessary. Thus, the RE engine was born, serving as a foundation for a game that would realign the series and bring it back on track: Resident Evil 7. The fans and also casual players were super satisfied with the product, and the new engine was praised by most people for its amazing graphical fidelity, high detail and real assets, and also character expressions, raising the bar once again for survival horror.
She's back somehow. Maybe it's a prank, but she wants me to come and get her.
Where is she?
Dulvey, Louisiana.
Shortly after the development of the RE engine, Capcom seized the opportunity to not only create new installments for their existing franchises, but also breathe new life into their older classics, modernizing them for a new generation of players. The utilization of this cutting-edge technology allowed the developers to enhance the limitations of older consoles, granting them the chance to revisit their creations and offer a more contemporary experience. The implementation of RE Engine offered a remarkable opportunity for these timeless classics to shine once again, reigniting the cherished memories they hold for both longtime fans and new players venturing into the Resident Evil franchise. Its powerful capabilities serve as a gateway for a new generation to experience the magic and allure of these iconic games.
This may be a one-way ride, so be prepared, Leon.
Now it's finally time to dive into this game. Personally, I never managed to finish the original game in the past, mainly because I wasn't much of a horror gamer back then. However, I took the time to watch some videos to gain a better understanding and establish a foundation for comparison between the two titles. This way, I can comprehend why certain aspects were met with mixed reactions from the OG fans, while at the same time garnering praise from the majority of the players. So join me as I analyze this new modernized survival horror take, while I criticize the good, the bad, and see why and how this game became the starting point for future remakes to come. If you're enjoying the content so far, make sure to like and subscribe to stay updated and never miss out on more content like this. With that said, get your Leon's the Professional copy and some popcorn, because we are about to dive into our first day as a rookie police officer in the Raccoon Seed Department. I played Resident Evil 2 Remake when released back in 2019, and I remember having a blast with this game, but funnily enough, it didn't keep me interested to the point of playing Claire's campaign or anything else. So unfortunately, I didn't get the true ending. Here, I was curious to see why I dropped this game despite having a great time with it. So let's see what awaits us. Game starts and we have to choose between campaigns, which is an interesting feature on the RE series. So we have our light-hearted rookie, Leon S. Kennedy, and the brave and resilient Claire Redfield. I choose Leon first because I wanted to do the same path that I took back in 2019, so Leon it is. This game has some really high expectations, especially being the second remake of the franchise. The first being Resident Evil 1 Remake, which I already covered here in this channel. Some hardcore fans were not so pleased with the overhaul that the game had, including good content and the new over-the-shoulder camera, getting rid of the classic cinematic camera angles and also the tank controls that were really beloved by the OG players. But I must say, the movement in this game is flawless at most part. Going to the gameplay, I could already grasp a bit of the mechanics, and right off the bat, I love how good it feels to control your character, especially here in a survival horror game where you need to be consistently dodging enemies so you don't waste your resources. Also, the introduction to this game is brilliant and super welcome. On the original RE2, the game basically starts with you in the middle of a burned down Raccoon City that was infested by zombies. And without explaining anything, the first thing you do is try to figure out how to play the game in seconds. Otherwise, you will be eaten alive by those pesky undead. Here, the game takes the opportunity of Leon stopping by the gas station to refuel his tank. But something is off, and he quickly realizes as he doesn't see anybody around. And to make things even weirder, there is a police car parked outside, doors wide open, and not long after, a noise of broken glass and a trail of flesh blood. Here's where the game gives you control of Leon, so the player can freely experiment before going to the gas station. This mix of plot and tutorial is great, feels supernatural, and when the actual game starts, you are prepared and familiarized with the controls. Going into the store as Leon turned on his flashlight, and after slowly investigating for a bit, we stumbled upon an injured police officer that, without saying a single word, points at the door frame that leads into a dark corridor. I slowly approached as the noises get even louder and aggressive, ramping up the tension as you go.
Stop moving.
Officer, you need help?
Stay back, sir. I got this.
Freeze! I'll shoot!
The way Leon says, "Freeze! I will shoot!" already says a bit about the character. It's not the wording itself, it's the delivery, and I will be commenting more on that later. but the way the subtle text is used here is fantastic. This game has some really good writing, so we finally neutralize our first threat. I can't help but appreciate the pinpoint accuracy on aiming and shooting in this game. While it might have been more interesting to portray Leon's aim as shaky, considering his rookie status and lack of experience with a zombie outbreak, I'm grateful that they opt for a more precise aim. The game is already challenging enough, particularly when facing multiple approaching zombies while trying to land precise shots to stagger them. The fact that the zombies can take so many bullets would have made an unsteady aim incredibly frustrating. We grab the key to the storage room at the key holder, and after that, the game shows you a tutorial of key items. And I think this is great. We managed to learn the basics while showing the player not only the mechanics, but a bit of who Leon and also Claire are, presenting the tone that the game is going to follow throughout the entire campaign, which is pretty consistent. I really love this intro, and I will let it play out for a bit before the cutscene so you can also enjoy.
Attention all citizens. Due to the citywide outbreak, you are advised to take shelter at the Raccoon City Police Station. Free food and medical supplies will be provided to everyone in need.
Oh my god, this is so unreal.
Police station's not much farther. They'll know something.
Yeah, but what if we're the only ones? What if there's no
No,
survivors?
there's survivors. It's a big city. There has to be. Looks like we're walking from here.
More like running.
Yeah, good call.
Leon, we gotta back up.
What the?
Holy shit. There, get out. Get out now! Hold on! Claire! Claire, you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. How about you?
Can't stay here, it's not safe!
Go on ahead. I'll meet you at the station.
I'll be there!
I love this first part here personally. You are greeted by a lot of zombies surrounding you and you are basically defenseless. Fighting is useless. Running is my best bet. And this feeling of being defenseless and at the edge is a huge plus for survival horror games. Here, you see that for the most part, I will be struggling with ammo, always using the right weapons for the right situations. Except for the final two bosses, but more on that later. After doing some research, I found out that this section on the original was way longer, with tons of environments and areas infested by the undead. Despite liking this part going to the police station, I was kinda disappointed after learning and remembering how the first section of the original was. But no worries, it's not bad. It's just a feeling of it could have been more, and that feeling will come up a couple more times if you are OG fan throughout the game. Here is a really good storytelling detail. The scenario is always telling a story, and exploring and pay attention to those same details are super rewarding. Look at those body bags, for example. You can already see that many people already died from this outbreak, and luckily Leon arrived kinda late for whatever is happening here. And as I bring this up, one of the complaints are the texts that appear back on the original when you inspect something. But to be honest here, you don't need that. Now you have a much more powerful console that allows the developer to use the environment itself to tell a story without the need of text. You just let the player absorb everything as he makes his own interpretation, making the experience more immersive. We are finally here. Dead by Daylight's player's worst nightmare. So after exploring a bit, I stumble upon the item box. Here, you can store any item that you want so you can free up space from your inventory. And trust me, the item box will be your best friend in this game. Talking about items, I noticed that there was a check icon on the right corner of the key item. It means that the key has no more use and you can discard. Basically, like in the original. So now that we are here, our goal is to see if there is anybody that needs help and can tell us what the hell is going here. Oh map, my beloved, a vital piece to a survival horror game. But I must say that here it's not necessary, to be honest. I didn't look at the map that often, and depending on which level you are, the map can get a bit confusing. So sadly, the map is not as useful as the original, but still you can see which items you left into each room. A really great feature so you can keep track on the resources as you go back and forth through the story. The classic backtracking, which I also will be explaining more in a moment. Passing this gate, you can already grasp how horror is really well crafted here. You have this silent corridor covered in darkness, only slightly lit by Leon's flashlight as you hear the sound of wooden crack. And my god, the sound here in this game is top notch. Have a listen on how it adds up to the atmosphere. One of the complaints about this game is the lack of soundtrack and how in the original it added a lot more of atmosphere and also soul into the game itself. Personally, I think this more silent approach, focusing on the sound design rather than the music, is much more suitable to this entry. But I totally understand why this can also be a negative. Music in the right moments can also make the set piece even more iconic. Oh, one more thing that I wanted to show you. My favorite line of this game. This line says a lot about Leon. He's trying to cheer himself up as he goes. He just wants to help everybody, do his best for everyone. His reason to join the force is to protect the others. And also how Nick Apostolites, Leon's voice actor, delivered those lines are just perfect. And also coming back to this title after playing the recent Resident Evil 4 Remake entry makes this Leon even better. And also makes Nick portray way more epic. Thanks, Nick. Oh, another cool detail. I was really impressed seeing this reload animation. The way that Leon just holds the flashlight with his neck, the animations here and the attention to details is just phenomenal. We're finally here to help our fellow police friend, but sadly, we arrived too late, resulting in an anti-YouTube policy cutscene and a notebook with some drawings on it. This soon will be important, and here's our first tension-packed set piece, and this game really knows how to pull them off. You have zombies banging at the gate right next to you, and also the only exit available of this room is also blocked by another zombie that slammed the door open going towards you. Your only option is run. Bullets can help, but you don't have enough for everyone. And again, the game loves to make you feel on the edge, defenseless. Despite you have a gun and ammo, most of the time it's not worth it. If you decide to shoot your way out, you'll be running empty pretty quickly. These set pieces are meticulously designed tension bombs, demanding quick thinking and responses from the player. The game doesn't insta-kill you most of the time. Instead, it punishes you for being wasteful or slow. You feel utterly powerless, compelled to play cautiously and tactically. These intense moments elevate the survival horror experience to its fullest, and after being bitten a couple times due to poor movement by me, I was saved by our trusty lieutenant.
Watch out! You're safe. For now.
Thanks.
Marvin Browner.
Leon Kennedy. There was another off strike. I couldn't...
Here. I'm sure you did what you could, Leon.
Does anyone know what started this?
Not a clue. But honestly, all you need to know is that this place will eat you alive if you aren't careful.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to start last week, and I got a call to stay away. I wish I'd come here sooner.
You're here now, Leon. That's all that matters.
Okay, Lieutenant? I'm ready.
Hopefully you'll be able to find a way out of this station. That officer you met earlier, Elliot. He thought this secret passageway might do the trick.
This is good news. We can get you to a hospital.
No, I am not the priority here.
Lieutenant, I'm not just gonna leave you here.
I'm giving you an order, rookie. You save yourself first. I'd come with you, but I'd just slow you down. Now, you'll need this.
I can't take him.
Stop. And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate. You take it out, or you run. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Before we discuss this cutscene, I know that I've been gushing about the details of this game quite a bit. However, I did like to draw attention to another noteworthy aspect. A few minutes ago, I received a notebook from a police officer. Later, Marvin checked the same notebook with his hands covered in blood. Now, as we have the notebook back, we can see traces of the same blood on pages. These subtle details contribute significantly to the immersive storytelling and are incredibly rewarding to discover. In this scene, we get a glimpse of Leon's kind-hearted and selfless personality. He really wishes he could have been here sooner to try and prevent all this madness. What makes this scene even more powerful is the contrast between Leon's and Marvin's personalities. While Leon wants to help and survive together, Marvin, being more experienced, faces the brutal reality and takes a logical approach. He knows he's doomed and warns Leon to not make the same mistake. This contrast between them adds depth to the scene and showcases the exceptional writing. Now we have the Marvin's knife, and my god, I miss the parry system so much. Here, the knife can be used to attack and as a defense item, which can be triggered after getting grabbed by an enemy, so pressing L1 will allow Leon to get rid of the monster's grasp. Additionally, you can also use explosive and flash grenades as a defense item. One other detail worth mentioning is that when Leon uses the knife to stab an enemy, he leaves the knife stuck in instead of retrieving right away. To reclaim the knife, you have to defeat the enemy first And I appreciate this detail as it portrays a less prepared Leon compared to his RE4 counterpart, where he could easily dispatch zombies with a knife. He adds a sense of realism and vulnerability to his character. He is still a rookie here. As we progress further, I found a green herb, which is a healing item in this game. You can use green herbs or first aid spray to heal. Additionally, combining green herbs with red herbs create a more potent heal. You can also add a blue herb to the mix, which not only cures poison, but also provides a mitigation status effect. Therefore, try to gather as many blue herbs as possible throughout the game to use these status effects against bosses. Thank me later. Where's the liquor that used to appear by this window? Did they forgot? Of course not, it's just different. Here, the game operates in an interesting pace, altering between moments of pure calmness and slow tension building, followed by intense, high-pressure situations that demand quick thinking. After experiencing these dynamic sequences, the game seamlessly transitions back to a state of tranquility. This pattern repeats throughout the campaign, and the game utilizes this pacing really effectively. For instance, at this moment, we find ourselves calmly exploring the station while solving puzzles along the way. The well-paced progression not only maintains immersion, but also keeps the player fully engaged. So let's talk about puzzles. And the first one in this game is really impressive. You're faced with a challenge of unlocking 2 padlocks on Leon's desk that were locked by other officers as a welcoming prank. To crack the combination, you need to discover 3 letters for each padlock, which corresponds to the first names of different police officers. The names are scattered across the desks in the office, requiring you to carefully investigate each one. Now, here's the best part. The last desk you need to search has a zombie sleeping on it. As soon as you approach, the zombie wakes up, adding an intense moment of tension. To make matters even more thrilling, the officer's name isn't on the desk, causing a sudden panic as you desperately search for the missing letter. Just when you think things cannot get any more challenging, another zombie enters the already confined office, making it even harder to avoid getting grabbed. This is a perfect puzzle that utilizes many survival horror mechanics. After finally surviving the office nightmare, I stumbled upon a wooden board, which is a weird addition to be honest. Here, you can use the wooden boards to block some windows of RCPD that eventually will be destroyed by the zombie, resulting in him breaking in. So to avoid certain encounters, you can just block some windows. At the start, I was getting as many boards as I could, but eventually it was just whatever. I can see some really good uses for it, but the mechanic itself feels a bit undercooked, in my opinion. I didn't feel the urgency to do it, and it felt like a last-minute addition. There it is, the classic save room. Here, you are completely safe. You can manage your items in the item box and also review some roll film that you find throughout the map. Those photos will reveal a hidden locker combination. Maybe a puzzle solution. But as a Capcom fan, I quickly figured out all the locker combinations, which are homages from names of well-known Capcom franchises. It was a nice touch, I must say. That really got me. The way bullet impact are depicted here is truly terrific. As you shoot zombies, you witness parts of their bodies being ripped apart, creating really gory and visually satisfying feedback. They can take so many bullets before they finally go down. However, you can never be entirely certain if they are truly dead or not, prompting you to fire an extra bullet just to be sure. The enemies in this game are resilient and can withstand multiple shots before actually dying, which amplifies the impact of more powerful weapons like the shotgun. While the shotgun can deliver one-shot kills, ammunition for is scarce, so resourcefulness becomes crucial. And by the way, the shotgun here is a beast, my god. And here's another thing that I love of those type of games: inventory management. Here you can start with only 8 slots, is standard compared to the OG. But here there are a lot of different items to pick up, and if you are mindlessly getting every single one of them as you find, you will run out of inventory space in a heartbeat. To avoid that, you need to think which items are important. For example, I always love to use 3 inventory spaces after using the item box, so I can carry my pistol, ammo, and 1 healing item. That's always my setup. And also, I prioritize key items, only grabbing ammo and herbs just when it's really necessary or in another occasion. Here's our first statue. Remember the drawings of the notebook that we got from the office Elliot? That was the solution to this puzzle. We need to insert the right combination on each statue so we can get the medallion. We need 3 of them to finally progress into the sewers. And here is the first one, the Lion Medallion. So after exploring a bit of the police station and gathering some items, we stumbled upon Marvin once again.
There you are. Come here. Take a look.
Yes! I knew she'd make it.
You know her?
Yeah, name's Claire. I came into town with her.
You can get to that courtyard. Through the 2nd floor. East side.
I'm on it. Thanks, Lieutenant.
Let's meet Claire once again. But before that, I stumbled upon this room so I could get more key items. And one of them is my lovely key card that will allow me to unlock the weapons locker so I can get my trusty shotgun. So don't miss this one out. Going through this corridor, we can see a helicopter spiraling downwards, crashing at the precinct wall with full force. But no surprises, because we know how much Capcom loves to destroy helicopters in their games.
Claire! Hold on! I'll be right there!
Okay!
Claire! It's so nice to see you.
How are you doing? That helicopter just came out of nowhere.
I'm in one piece.
I'm guessing you don't have a key in one of those fancy pockets?
Unfortunately, no. But how are you doing?
You know, just surviving.
That's good.
Yeah.
Any luck with your brother?
No, not yet.
Claire, don't lose hope. I'm sure we're gonna find him. Damn it. You know what that means?
Yeah. Dinner time.
Claire, I think you should go.
Don't worry about me, Leon. You take care of yourself.
Claire, you need to go. Now!
Okay, let's get through this. Both of us.
The "I'm surviving" line is so cute. I love the chemistry between those two. It is a really simple cutscene, but it's super enjoyable to watch both interacting. It serves as a fantastic slowdown moment that quickly picks up the tension right after. Setting some bonds between Claire and Leon and how they cherish each other is just lovely. So we finally made our way back. And let me tell you, backtracking in this game is incredibly intense. During my initial run through the west wing of the precinct, it was relatively calm with just a few zombies and great puzzles that had some nice tension. However, on the second time around, the game starts throwing more enemies your way. And it only gets worse as you progress, especially if, like me, you didn't eliminate many of them initially. It reached a point where I had to use flashbangs or spare ammo because it became increasingly challenging to slip past those pesky undead. But the best part about backtracking this game is that every time you traverse the same path, there's always something different. It could be a new item you missed before, additional enemies, or even a previously dead body now up and wandering around. The RCPD feels truly alive. As if the zombies are still looking in the ruins even though Leon isn't present. This unpredictability makes the precinct feels incredibly immersive, never knowing what might change the next time you traverse the corridor or enter a room. It adds up so much the tension and keeps the player constantly engaged and on their toes as they venture through those eerie blood-stained hallways. And talking about eerie hallways...
What in God's name?
The Lickers are my favorite enemies in this game. They are highly threatening, especially when other zombies are present in the same area. Lickers are blind, so you can safely pass them by walking slowly. However, be cautious, because if you alert them, they will swiftly attack and cause severe damage. Running is not the best solution in certain sections. Instead, it's best to use a flashbang or shotgun to navigate through those areas. The game developers did an excellent job introducing Lickers. You first catch a glimpse of them through a second floor window, and then you come across a file that provides valuable information about their blindness. This attention to detail enhances the player experience, rewarding players for exploration and curiosity, while also expanding the game's lore and offering helpful hints, a great feature in Resident Evil games that I adore. Here we are in the classic STARS office, and it's a really nice callback from the original. You also have the first aid spray that is hidden inside this bag that is hanging by the wall. And of course, there's more important items, one of them being this safe combination, which again rewards the player curiosity with more inventory space, which you can acquire by finding hip pouches, which are crucial for the campaign. More inventory space means less backtracking for picking up items. And also, weapon parts. Wait, did you say weapon parts? Yes, here you can upgrade your weapons using those parts by extending your mag or increasing your damage depending on which part. It's another feature that makes the progression feels more natural. By the end game, you will be packing a really deadly arsenal capable of melting any tyrant on your way. And the interesting thing is that I was not feeling like a one-man army, which actually kills the pace of a lot of survival horror games. I was packing weaponry by the end, but I was just facing the two final bosses, which are two huge tyrants, so my arsenal grew alongside the enemies. Of course, you can use the shotgun before that, but you'll be struggling on ammo if you do it too much. But if you save tons of ammo like myself, by the end, you have magnum and shotgun ammo for days. It's a really smart design idea to balance things out. After some more exploration, we finally got the two last medallions left, so we can finally progress to the basement section. But before that, we need to get Marvin out of here.
So it goes underground. Huh. That's it. That's our way out. Lieutenant Branna! Marvin! It's time to go. Hey, Marvin. We need to get you to a hospital right now.
No, save yourself.
Come on, I've got you.
Go!
Look, we can still make it out of here together. You just can...
It's too late. I tried, Leon. But I couldn't stop it. We can't let this thing spread. It's on you now. Just go.
I understand. I won't let you down, Marvin.
I love Leon so much, and I really enjoy how he's always still optimistic along the way, no matter the situation. It's really inspiring, even though he's a rookie that will eventually learn to be colder as the franchise moves on. But still, I always feel really moved by his positivity, even in the scariest of the situations. So this is William Birkin, Umbrella's virologist, but we will uncover his story as we go. For now, we're just going to fight this beast. And I must say, this is a really good boss fight. You are in some sort of a labyrinth, a lot of tight corners, so finding an angle before shooting is your best bet. This fight is pretty straightforward. First, you shoot him a couple times, so a giant glowing eye will appear right on his right arm. And following the gamer's rulebook, if it glows, it goes. Shoot that until it dies. The fight is really tense, because you're always trying to look for a gap to get a clear shot, but you also don't have much time to aim. William is always on your tail, ready to strike, but not close enough to being annoying or unfair. And also a pretty solid storytelling aspect is that Birkin is asking for help as you fight him. You can see that he's trying to fight against whatever is happening to him, making the player question, should I really kill him? Or just run? It would have been a nice option to just run, giving more agency to the player, but also could have been repetitive, considering you already have to run from the tyrant for a huge portion of the game, so I'm glad that you just fight him. This fight is not difficult and is pretty well balanced, so after a couple running and gunning, I managed to finally put an end to his misery. For now. One detail that I really enjoy, not only in this game but in games in general, is how Leon's clothing becomes progressively dirtier. I appreciate visual storytelling, and seeing the main character's clothes getting dirtier or damaged as the story unfolds is a nice touch. For instance, in games like Batman Arkham City, the way Bruce's clothes get damaged and he accumulates bruises all over his body adds depth to the plot, especially considering moments where he faces near-death experiences. This attention to detail enhances the overall narrative, and I love that it is explored here. By the end, Leon's injured and his clothing is a mess, bearing the marks of his arduous journey. After progressing a bit further, we're finally out of the underground level, and this happens.
Damn. Need a key card. You gotta be kidding me. Get off of me!
Hey!
Who is that?
Stay sharp. Lower it. FBI.
Sorry. Thank you. For your help.
Surprised you made it this far.
FBI, huh? What's going on here?
Sorry, that information's classified.
Where you going?
Do yourself a favor. Stop asking questions and get the hell out of here.
Ada in this game is just fantastic. And again, using the same concept as Marvin's first cutscene, Leon and Ada personalities are good opposites that makes Leon grow as a character and also Ada. This is really good writing. Ada is really confident and mysterious. We know that she's not telling the whole truth throughout the game, especially if you are an old-time Resident Evil fan. But if you're not, maybe you get surprised by the twist at the end. Ada's intentions for now are pretty vague, so I just follow her for now, leading me to this prison cell. And to my surprise, there was someone locked up.
Hello?
Hey.
I don't believe it. A real human. Hello, human.
You been here long?
Long enough. Are we the last ones alive?
No, there's a few of us.
Huh. That's good news, I guess.
Yeah.
That's of course Irons sent you.
Irons? You mean Chief Irons? Is he still around?
Who cares? Hopefully he's somebody's dinner by now.
What do you mean by that?
He's the bastard that locked me in here.
I'm sure he had a good reason.
He did. I was about to blow the whistle on his dirty ass. I'd have done the same thing to him, I guess. Hey, I'll make you a deal. Unlock this cell and I'll give you this. There's no other way out of that parking garage, believe me.
Sorry, I can't do that. I have to talk to the chief first.
Look, we're both prisoners in this station. So either we play nice and help each other out, or... Shit. It's coming.
What? What's coming?
Come on. Come on, don't be an asshole. Okay, you need this. Just get me the fuck out of here!
Oh my God. Who is that?
It's just me. So we can put that thing away.
I don't even know what happened. It just happened so quick.
I told you to get out of here. You wouldn't want to end up like Ben, would you?
You knew him?
He was an informant. Had information of use to my investigation.
So what he said was true? Hey, you can't keep walking away from me. I don't even know your name. I'm Leon Kennedy.
Find a way out, Leon. Before it's too late. Then we'll talk. Name's Ada.
Well, I guess the deal's on.
Leon is just following orders. The way he still has faith on the police and how their fellow colleagues will honor the badge like he does is a really nice touch for what is about to come. And also, Mr. X dragging the guy through the wall like he was nothing is a great way to introduce him. The player knows that you will encounter this threat sooner or later, but until then, you'll be on your toes. Better be prepared when that happens. So our objective is to get 2 fuses, so we can open the cell gate to get the key card that will lead us out of the station. So it's exploration time. And before we go back once again to the police station, I want to talk about this room specific. Look at how the sound design presented you with danger ahead. You can hear the barking from the dogs, but you don't know how or when they will get the jump on you. Just have a listen. Going to this room, you can find a couple cages with some hellhounds locked up. And I like that the game gives you the opportunity to shoot them down before going back here, so you don't need to face them on your way back. Of course, the hellhounds will still attack you, but it will be in a smaller number. At the morgue, we finally found another key, and I really like this section here. It's a really nice tension builder. While open all the refrigeration door, really slowly hoping someone is going to pop out of there. Of course, eventually does, but at least it gives me the key to progressing further into the story. On the way back, we found out one of the fuses that we need for the cell gate. While going back to the police station, you can already see that there are more zombies. They are slowly getting inside the precinct, so you need to be extra careful. Now that you have more ammo and familiarity with the controls, the game ramps up the difficulty as a test on how well we got used to the mechanics so far, giving the sense of progression, which is a really nice design touch. But there is one thing in this section that I really didn't like it. You remember Marvin, right? And how the build-up of Leon's relation with him is really solid. We know that Marvin will eventually turn, but you think that when that happens, it will be something really emotional due to how Leon is reacting to all of this. But sadly, this is how we found out that Marvin turned.
Marvin! Oh no. Damn it! I'll stop this, Lieutenant. I promise.
So anticlimactic, you could actually use the fact that Marvin says,
And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate. You take it out, or you run. Got it?
to actually make that line impactful there. To make Leon second guess himself if he should shoot or not, even for a second, it will be much better and also would have been a really nice opportunity for Leon to grow as a character. And here is an example on how the Lickers can be really menacing if there are also zombies in the same area. And notice that I got trapped by enemies coming from both sides. This will happen some other times, and I think it's really cool, even though you know you're pretty doomed. After unlocking additionally paths within the station, we eventually came across a burning helicopter. We successfully extinguished the flames to proceed, but our progress was met with the appearance of the game's most menacing enemy.
Jesus Christ!
By the way, shooting his fedora actually gave me achievement. Mr. X is the cherry on top of this game. This is a tyrant created by Umbrella, a better version compared to the one that we faced on RE1. Mr. X is unkillable, so don't even bother to shoot him. Your best option is always run. He'll be chasing you for the most sections inside RCPD. And now that you already backtrack enough to the point to get a good grasp of the map's layout, now it's time to use that for your advantage. Not knowing the correct paths here will result in various encounters with Mr. X, and I guarantee there will be really scary. Here the starting mechanic is really well done, and sadly the same cannot be said from the next game, RE3 Remake, which I will be reviewing next. But I must say that after this game, people's expectations for Nemesis were at the roof. While exploring the station, you always hear Mr. X's footsteps getting closer and closer. And it's such a nice tension building. You always feel the urgency to get out of there before X don't give it to you. I love this moment here. We are going down the corridor that leads me into this interview room. Here, we find another safe combination, another key item, and a zombie doing some yoga stretching showing his cake. After finally exiting the room, I was expecting at least one more new zombie to appear, and I was almost right. That actually made me jump. Holy shit, that was freaking amazing. This enemy feels unstoppable. It's crazy how his presence is stated from the start and how menacing he is. And I don't think he's annoying like some critics said. I just think it's a really smart way to make this section that we already uncovered more threatening without feeling repetitive. Exploring further and going back once again to the STARS office, I found my trusty Magnum, which I said in my previous RE1 remake video. After you find a Magnum in a survival horror game, you save as much ammo as you can to use it at the final boss. So that's what I did. And also one really cool file, some people seem to not get it. There is a Chris letter here that sounds super weird. If you read everything, you clearly see that Chris is a douche. But if you really know a bit of Chris's character, you know that he's talking in code, especially with the extra large umbrella pot. Just wanted to show this to you guys because I think it's pretty cool. I went downstairs to the locker room so I could get the last items from there. And when I was dialing the numbers, Mr. X's music started jamming in my headphones. And I must say, that was the most intense dialing that I ever done in my entire life. And another example on how difficult this game can get. Look at this example. I was going through a liquor area, so I had to be really silent. But that was freaking awesome. I really enjoy those moments, I'm not gonna lie. But one bad thing is that I need to go back there. And I happened to stumble upon 2 other zombies right in this corridor. But I learned that I could use my pistol to stagger them for a bit before I run past them. So always try to use your pistol to stagger like I did here. It will save you some ammo for sure. And one funny detail is that Mr. X can punch zombies to get to you. So I went to the library, so I could move those bookshelves, which was really intense. So now we can get to the 3rd floor to finally get the other fuse left after doing this clock puzzle. At least in this game we have a clock puzzle. Isn't that right, Capcom? So now it's time to finally go back to the cell gates, solve the fuse puzzle so we can get the key card so we can delta out of here.
I just find it way too coincidental Umbrella's one of the benefactors.
You told me this interview was about the new scholarship Umbrella set up.
Come on, Annette. Nobody cares about that. They want to know about the G virus and that big fucking sinkhole in the city, which, by the way, rumor has it goes straight to your underground lab. Now, are you going to talk to me, or are you going to...
This interview is over.
So we are finally understanding what actually is happening here. And this is where the game gives us a lot of information. Leon will start to finally have the whole truth revealed to him, showing that the war can be really brutal, worse than we can never imagine. Before we finally get the hell out of here, I must praise this section here for how tense it is. You basically have to run from those undead, opening this gate and going all the way around, but...
Give me a break.
Again, I love when this happens. You think you have a way out, but the game just slaps you with a big think again. Breaking expectations, make your brain go into panic mode is a really cool set piece that I appreciate. So now we go back to the parking lot so we can finally open those gates.
This is getting old. Saving your ass, that's twice.
I didn't realize you were keeping score.
Look, this isn't a game. Nothing dies down here.
Indeed, Ada. Indeed. So basically now Ada listens to the recording of Ben's interview with Annette, which is Birkin's wife. Yes, that monster sadly also has a family, making this even more sad. But unfortunately, Ada didn't got much info to tell us what's going on. But before she finally revealed the horrible deeds done by Umbrella, we stumble upon one of the greatest and saddest parts of the entire game.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
I said don't move.
I'm just passing through. I'm gonna ask you to lower that weapon.
I tell you what, you're gonna turn around and go right back out the way you came in.
I think your daughter needs help, sir.
Don't tell me how to deal with my daughter.
Drop it.
No! Wait!
Step aside. We need to terminate her before she turns.
Terminate. It's my fucking daughter.
Ada. Just let them be.
Emma? Sweetheart, I told you to stay put.
Daddy?
Daddy's here. Come here. Okay? Those fucking things outside. What they did to us. You're a cop. You're supposed to know something. How did this happen? Huh? She was our sweet little angel.
Mommy?
I was sleeping, honey. Okay? And I'm gonna put you to bed too, okay? Emma. Just go. Just give us some privacy.
You know, it's one thing to keep the truth from me, but why him? I want to find out what's happening here and stop whoever's behind it. Helping people like them? That's why I joined the force.
My mission is to take down Umbrella's entire operation. We may not make it out.
Whatever it takes to save this city. Count me in.
This is absolutely heartbreaking, and is a remarkable feature of the remake. One aspect that often goes missing in survival horror games is the exploration of the aftermath, the true impact on people's lives. It's about delving deeper into reality, showcasing the trauma, depression, and the sickness that ensue. Just like in our own lives, we face struggles and fear countless possibilities. True horror goes beyond cheap scares. It taps into our humanity, making us reflect on the real-life issues we encounter. Games are an escape, but let's not forget that reality can be terrifying too. Kendall's section in the remake captures this magnificently, unveiling the horrifying consequences of Umbrella's atrocities on numerous lives and families. It's an impactful portrayal that highlights the immense scale of destruction, something that future Resident Evil titles should aim to explore going forward. Before I continue, here's a really nice detail. You can actually find a letter from Jill before a meeting with Kendall. So now it's time for Ada to finally tell us the truth. And here is where Leon meets the scale of the problem and how deep the rabbit hole goes. So Umbrella is a pharmaceutical company that developed a virus called G-Virus, that's responsible for this outbreak. and Ada's mission is to find and capture Annette Birkin, the responsible for the creation of this bioweapon, alongside the sample. And accordingly to Ada, the sewers will lead into a hiding facility, which Leon didn't believe at first. He's still a poor, naive soul, but that slowly will change.
According to HQ, this leads right into Umbrella's secret facility.
Come on. Sewers are run by the city. How could they have a facility without the authorities knowing?
Welcome to corporate America. Umbrella's controlled Raccoon City for years.
Going down this scrappy hole, we stumble upon the interior crocodile alligator, but he was not driving a Chevrolet movie theater.
Ugh. You sure this is the right way?
Unfortunately.
Wait there.
Interior crocodile alligator. I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
Leon! Get out of there!
Holy shit!
The holy shit line always gets me. Some people didn't like this part at all for being an on-rail section, but compared to the original one, it was way more improved. But I get that the rail thing can be a little disappointing, but I think in this case, it works. It's super straightforward, super simple, more like a homage rather than an actually important story plot that needed to get reworked. So I'm super fine with that. Venturing down the sewers, we finally found Annette, but she doesn't seem to want to cooperate that easily, resulting in Aiden almost getting shot if it was not for our hero, Leon.
I'm warning you, Doctor. Oh yeah?
Hey!
Stop!
Ada! You'll never get the G-Virus!
Didn't expect that from a scientist. Leon.
Forget about me. Just go. Stop her before she gets away.
Now it's Ada time, with her classic red dress, which makes her doings even more impressive due to the lack of mobility using high heels and a tight dress. So here we have an interesting gameplay feature that makes her section really unique, the EMF visualizer. As some sort of hacking device that allows me to hack certain electronic panels that are hidden inside walls. Basically, a hacking minigame, which is pretty fun and totally changed the pace a bit, making the game more fresh. So here is simple but not easy. We have to use the EMF to unlock the path ahead of us, finally getting to the courtyard, which has an elevator that needs power before being used. So we need to use the EMF again to follow the wires that lead us into the panel. But be careful, because at least in this playthrough, I didn't found any healing items, so don't risk too many dodges, trust your pistol and flashbangs. Luckily, I managed to kinda go through the zombies without getting too hurt, and here's a complaint. After using the elevator, you find Annette going on with her business as usual. And after following her, you need to use the EMF to hack some panels that power up this lever so we can progress through this door. But while you do this, Mr. X appeared, and you basically don't have enough room to dodge easily, which resulted me in dying a couple times trying to figure out where the panels were. And also the visual feedback is confusing, so I didn't know if I was hacking the right panels in the right order. So this section for me was a trial and error until I finally succeeded. This killed the pace for me quite substantially, but maybe I was just a little slow in this section. But if you also had the same issue, leave down in the comments below, because I think when games does a trial and error section, it just breaks the pace and makes this part frustrating. But at least 8 sections is almost over. It's pretty short and sweet for the most part besides this encounter. After finally escaping Mr. X, we get inside the incinerator, which inside conveniently has an ID wristband, a key item that would be important for the endgame section. And oh look, it was a trap! God damn it! I was not expecting that. Jokes aside, we use the EMF visualizer for one last time so we can make our sweet escape and finally chase down Annette.
Enough with this cat and mouse game.
The game is over.
You lost. Tell me, is your husband still alive? Or did you kill him so you could take credit for G?
Interesting theory.
You don't cooperate. I'll get a sample from the nest. Over my dead body. Where's Leon?
So back to Leon and to the sewers we go. So here's a different section. Again, people always hated sewers level so much that it became a meme into the community. But of course it has its reasons. Personally, I had bad and good experiences with sewer levels. And here, it's okay at best. I think the police station was a really well designed section, where sound was really well used to create a tense atmosphere, with amazing puzzles and great backtracking. And I can compare this section to the Underwater Lab section from the RE1 remake, which I also didn't enjoy that much due to the lack of good horror set pieces compared to the Mansion. RE2 Sewers feel like the same for me, but it also has my favorite puzzle in the game. First, we have a new enemy down here. It's called the G-Adult, that if you get grabbed by them, it will poison you. So be careful. Otherwise, I hope you stack in blue herbs, which is the only way to get rid of the poison status effect. And another tip, always have a defense item on your disposal. Going further into the sewers, you can start noticing some flaws with the audio. Here is not used to its fullest. You basically wander around into completely silent rooms, which doesn't have anything to add moments of tension or anything. It feels really empty. Just have a look at this example.
Where'd she go?
I think it's okay for your game to not have music in some sections, but it has to have a reason for it. Something else needs to be happening instead, but it's just pure silence. We drop down to this room and we find Ada. We need to rescue her somehow, so let's not waste any time.
Ada. I'm coming, Ada.
We found out a VHS tape that we can watch and see Birkin right after he transforms by the looks of things. This VHS tape didn't have much info, but it's just a little foreshadowing for a big plot. The sewer section is pretty short, which is a plus personally for me, but I must say that the backtracking here is really well done. The way that all the sections of the game feels naturally interconnected is really impressive and deserves praise because backtracking can destroy a game's space completely. Another highlight of the game for me was the chess piece puzzle, which consists in two parts. In the first part, you find yourself in a room where doors can be opened by inserting chess piece shaped plugs into adjacent panels. However, removing a plug will instantly shut the door, transforming the section into a labyrinth. Your task is to navigate through this intricate setup, ensuring you collect all the chess pieces and make your own way to the exit. Additionally, don't forget to obtain the flamethrower. It is a crucial and powerful weapon that will greatly assist you in the later sections of the game. Trust me, having it will save a lot of trouble. And for the second part, while going back to the VHS tape room, you will stumble upon a night chess piece. And if you explore enough, you can also get more inventory space alongside a Magnum upgrade. So take your time in this section here. So with all those chess pieces collected, it's now time to insert them in this panel right here. To solve this, you have a riddle which reads, pretty sure the rook and the knight are on the same wall, and the bishop and the queen aren't next to each other. The queen and the rook were opposite to each other too. Basically, this is a Silent Hill 1 music room puzzle situation, but much easier. I really enjoyed this one. You have those panels, and following this riddle, you just need to switch and insert plugs accordingly. It is super rewarding, and I really like those type of puzzles. And also the fact that this puzzle has a build-up into a labyrinth, then to exploration, cycling back to the room where it started, is super well designed. So the door is open, and now we can save Ada. But before that, we need to face an old friend of ours.
Jesus Christ!
Birkin is back, but now his mutation seems to evolve even more. Now he's an unstoppable killing machine, and we need to fight him once more. This boss fight is great, and has a different mechanic making this even more interesting. Not a usual RE boss fight. You first need to wait for him to go down the roof. Conveniently, I already knew his speedrun strategy, so if you wanted to do the same, feel free. After some time, he will blast through this gate, so you can just run past him until you get to the boss fight arena. Here's where the fun begins. You have a tight space, so be careful. You need to stagger him roughly around a certain spot, so you can use this crane to throw him out of the platform. But don't fool yourself, because he doesn't go down that easily. This same process needs to be repeated twice, so you can finally get rid of him once again, but not for the last time. So with Birkin out of our tail, we can now finally rescue Ada.
Come on. Ada! Ada, where are you?
Over here!
Ada! I was getting worried there for a sec.
I can't get it out.
I don't know if I should,
Just do it. I can't walk like this.
Okay. It's gonna hurt. Hold on.
I can do it myself.
Just relax, okay? So, what do we do now?
Get yourself out of here. While you still can.
I'm not just gonna leave you. Not like this.
You don't understand. The situation's worse than I thought.
You're not getting rid of me that easy. You protected me. Now it's my turn.
Didn't realize we were keeping score.
Grab my shoulder.
Don't push it, rookie.
Okay, just trying to help. Watch your step.
You want to help? We have to get to the nest.
Nest?
Umbrella's lab, right beneath us. Net let it slip. That's where the virus samples are. You up for this?
Think I could fit it in my schedule.
Come on. We got work to do.
Yes, ma'am.
So now we are going to the nest, Umbrella's secret lab, and like all the classical Resident Evil games, we got a lab section. But before I comment any further on that, let's just enjoy this cutscene.
This may be a one-way ride, so be prepared, Leon.
This tram is bound for Nest. Do not exit until the final destination.
You know what I was thinking? I can't wait for the FBI to raid Umbrella headquarters and take those bastards to justice.
I agree, but to be clear, you're not working in official capacity. This is a federal case. Once we get the G-Virus, I'm back on my own. Hey, Leon. Trust me?
You trust me?
Honestly, if I didn't, you'd probably be dead.
Right.
I thought I might need your help, and I was right. If you can secure the G-Virus, I can make sure what happened in Raccoon City never happens again.
Ada, you say it yourself. It's a federal case. I don't
Leon,
have the authority.
Look at me. I'm a liability now. If I'm gonna finish this case, you're the last hope I've got.
I'm not just gonna leave you here. What if you're attacked? What if you need help?
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I gotta see this through. And I want to see you again. I got plenty to live for, trust me.
Now, arriving at Nest.
Go. Please, we don't have much time. You're gonna need this.
Okay.
Leon. Counting on you.
I know.
So lab section we go. Oh, one more thing. Who the hell designed this staircase? What were they thinking? Usually the lab sections are different, for the lack of a better term. But one thing that I truly enjoy is how beautiful the lab design is. It has a more light color palette with a white being the dominant color. It's not bright, but it feels different compared to the rest of the game, and I like that a lot. But the filters indeed make the colors not pop as much. One other complaint that most people have with this game is how desaturated the game looks, and indeed, it really feels that the colors are not so vivid. Gladly they fixed this for future games, and I must confess that would have been nice if they gave the colors more saturation, especially here in this lab section. Exploring a bit of the lab, we can already start to piece out together what happened, and it seems that the military actually raided here moments before something happened. And again, visual storytelling helping alongside the files to immerse the player into the plot. Some dead soldiers along the way and fresh bloodstains all over the place. And not long after, we learn that the G-Virus is on the west area of the lab, so we know what to do. Remember that I told you about the flamethrower being a crucial weapon? So here's where we can make zombie barbecue. But don't worry if you are vegan, because there are plant zombies. This joke was awful. We are introduced to a new enemy known as Evie, which is a direct consequence of Umbrella's researchers being unable to maintain Plant 43 properly during the outbreak-induced lockdown. As a result, this experimental plant began to attack and infect the researchers with the seedings, transforming them into those plant type of zombies. These EV enemies are extremely dangerous, to the point where a single grab from them can result into instant death if you don't have any defense items. However, there are ways to avoid this. You can burn them while they are asleep, or destroy the orange pods that are embedded in their bodies before setting them ablaze. So our goal here is to use our ID wristband that we got from Ada to go and get the G-Virus. But to access, we need a level 3 ID wristband, and now we only have the level 2 one. To get the level 3 ID, that is located with this scientist that had his life cut short by Plant 43. We need to make a solution to get past from the deadly plant to finally have access to the rest of the lab. In this section, I backtracked a bunch of times because I really got lost. I must say it was my fault for not paying much attention. This part is hard, and every time you backtrack, it's just really bad due to lickers and IVs. Those are really hard enemies to avoid without wasting so many resources. But I managed to finally get a solution in a puzzle where I need to fill up this canister using the liquid in the right order. Right after that, we need to freeze the solution into this freezer.
Cooling complete.
And after cooling this canister, I was finally able to go back and use the solution so I can get my level 3 ID. But it was all too good to be true.
Shit! Him again?
So after escaping once again from Mr. X, we can finally get the G sample. But before that, I stumbled upon another VHS tape. Let's see if there are any useful info on it.
Got eyes on the G-virus. We're going in. Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us quietly.
You think I didn't know you were coming? This is my life's work. I'm not handing over anything.
We have our orders, Dr. Birkin. I'll ask you one more time. Hold your fire! What the fuck were you thinking? Our orders were to bring him in alive. We're in, sir. But we had a snafu. Target resisted. We had to take him out. That's correct, sir. Roger that. Just the samples, then. Let's move.
Seems that Birkin got shot, but he's not dead, right? Alongside with the VHS recorder, we have a computer with some emails from higher-ups interested in finding the G-virus after seeing the results. I really like this one because Leon is uncovering so much stuff, learning that even the government and also all those corps has some shady business behind the scenes that people can barely even imagine how cruel they can be, and showing an important plot point to finally closes Leon's arc. So here we finally found a G sample, and this was my favorite part of the entire game. If you notice, I didn't use the shotgun or Magno a single time so far, and I was finally rewarded with a shit ton of shotgun and Magno ammo. I was packing so much that I could take Umbrella myself for the next Resident Evil games, including the spin-offs. I was feeling like going to McDonald's after getting my paycheck. I was armed to the teeth, ready for a war. After finally packing myself with some mad weaponry, I got the G sample so I could GTFO, but I stumbled upon Birkin. What a surprise.
Going on?
Sorry, William. You left me no choice.
You called this thing William. Why?
It shouldn't have been like this. It's Umbrella's fault, this whole mess.
You're Umbrella too. You're telling me you weren't involved in this?
Yes. But we never meant for this to happen.
Then tell me everything. Right from the start.
You don't get away that easily.
Good God, William. What have you done?
So you made this monster.
We made the G-Virus, but we never intended this.
Spin it any way you want. You're still responsible.
This is so freaking epic! The music, the setup, those last sections are amazingly crafted. We know the plot and how Annette, Birkin, and Umbrella were responsible for this outbreak. We piece almost everything together, and now it's time to put an end into this. And I must say, even though I was hacking, Birkin pulled up a great fight. His attacks have great visual feedback, so you have time and quickly understanding on what to do on a fly. You know from previous encounters that you have to shoot the glowy orange eyes, but now he's even faster. So always take spacing after shooting. Movement here is key. And my god, this boss battle flow is amazing. The music just makes this section even better. Super action-packed and super rewarding after you get the final blow. Now we need to get out of here and give the sample to Ada, but before that, we discover by talking to Annette that Ada is actually a mercenary and wants the sample for other purposes.
Believe me.
Talk about what you said. I don't know how much I believe.
Just tell me you'll destroy that G sample.
No, it's evidence. It's going to the FBI.
You trust that bitch?
What's that supposed to mean?
She's not FBI. She's a mercenary. She's gonna sell it. The G-Virus is gonna go to the highest bidder.
That's bullshit.
I hope you're right. But if the G-Virus gets into the wrong hands...
Well, I think we didn't uncover everything we need to know just yet.
I was just thinking about you.
That makes two of us. I was getting worried.
No, we make a good team. I gotta ask you something.
Way's clear. Please, tell me you got it.
Oh, I got it.
Let me verify the G sample and we get the hell out of here.
Before we do that, I ran into Annette. She claims you're not FBI.
Oh, Leon. Why couldn't you just hand over the sample?
As I realized, as much as I wanted to trust you, I didn't.
I really hoped it wouldn't end up like this.
So that's all this was. I was just some pawn to you?
Look, I'm just doing my job.
And I'm doing mine, so drop that damn gun! I'm taking you in.
Hand over the sample, Leon. I don't want to hurt you.
And you shoot me. But I don't think you can.
Shut up, I've got you.
It's not worth it.
Don't do this.
Take care of yourself, Leon.
No!
I love this elevator section. As you're going down and seeing the nest go into self-destruction mode, you are just taking the story in. So many revelations, one after the other, and a betrayal. This is when Leon finally realized something. When he finally changed. The way this cutscene is portrayed is terrific. The delivery of the lines just makes this moment even more memorable.
Claire!
Leon? You're down here too!
Yeah, but the whole place is coming down. Listen to me. You need to get out. Fast.
Yeah. There's a way out. We can make it. Where are you now?
Claire, are you still there?
Leon? Hey, Leon, you're breaking up.
Forget about me. Just get out of here. Damn it.
We need to get out of here fast. And I know there's still a boss fight to go. So for one last time, I packed myself again before our last confrontation. And it was not long for us to finally stumble upon our nemesis.
Is this a fucking joke?
We managed to pass through Mr. X once again with ease, until he got fried like a KFC chicken sandwich. Not long after, I used this battery, so I can use this elevator, and guess who's back? Dude, they nailed at making those final bosses as epic as they can be. Again, music, the setup, everything coming together in a really nice climax. This boss is also freaking great, but this time you have to fight him in a more confined space. As the lab is self-destructing, a lot of debris will fall off, blocking parts of the platform as the fight progresses, making the arena even smaller than already is, ramping the tension and the difficulty up, while Mr. X's moveset gets different the more damage you do, going into an insta-kill move. And that's why I was ready to use my flashbangs, like here for example. And after a really epic fight, our rocket launcher that kills any final boss in a Resident Evil game appears.
We'll call it even.
Where did this thing go?
Mr. X? More like Mr. Couldn't Have. I really need to work on those jokes. And before we finish this game, look at this zombie after getting rocket launcher to death. those zombies really take their yoga sessions pretty seriously. So Leon campaign is done, and I really had fun playing through. However, I cannot still understand why I dropped this game after beating, because now I really wanted to play through Claire's campaign. So yeah, sometimes it happens, I guess. Some games don't get your attention until some other day. But we have a little more work to do. Yes, a little, because here is where the critics start to get a little rough on this game. And I can see where they're coming from, because people that really love the original game were disappointed by the lack of content compared to the OG, which I totally understand. And after some research, I found out that the RE2 remake also had a troubled development cycle, to the point that A and B scenarios were not supposed to be in the game at all. For those who don't know what those scenarios are, here's how it works. Before the game starts, you can choose between Claire and Leon. The character that you choose first, you have an A scenario, and the second one will get the B scenario. And of course, with that you have A and B Leon and A and B Claire, and that was almost scrapped due to the deadline and also the budget. Going to Claire's playthrough, you can actually notice the differences, but for the most part, the campaign is basically the same. But you have some different set pieces that goes a bit like this. At the start, we skip the gas station area because we are at the B scenario. We don't need a tutorial. So the first minutes are just a recap of what happened, super straightforward. A crucial difference is we start right at the backyard of the police station. It skips the whole city part. Now we run all the way around to get the bolt cutter and to get this cutscene once again.
You know, just surviving.
Now we can get the key to finally get into the precinct. From now on, the game is basically the same, but after exploring for a bit, you can already see that you were a little late. You can see that Marvin's already turned, Mr. X already arrived, and yes, you basically have to deal with him right at the start, making the B scenario much more chaotic. Some items are in different locations, but most of them are in the same place. For example, Leon's desk is still locked, with the upgrade weapon inside. But you can see all the safes are also locked. There are just minor differences at this point. One thing that is important is that your arsenal is different. You have 3 sets of pistols for some reason, which I didn't understand why, but one of those pistols when upgraded becomes a revolver, so it makes sense. Also, instead of the shotgun and the flamethrower, you get the grenade launcher that can shoot fire and acid rounds, and also you can get the spark shot, which electrocute enemies with a charge shot, and last but not least, a submachine gun, which helps a lot to stagger enemies, but has an awful accuracy. One major difference is that the first Birkin fight, you actually find Cheryl, Williams and Annette's daughter. And yes, we also fight Birkin here. The same boss fight, which is weird, because the game gives you hints of Leon being at the station as well, doing the same things you did on scenario A, but also ignoring that completely. So after finally defeating Birkin once again, we finally start to bond with Cheryl, which is nice. I think Claire is super charismatic, and their bond adds up a lot to her personality.
Yeah, I promise. Everything's fine.
Getting to the parking lot section, we met Chief Irons.
And you're sure this is the way?
This is how my mom took me last time.
Sherry? I've been looking everywhere for you, Sherry. Brave little girl to leave your house in the middle of this mess. On the ground, hands behind your head.
You can't be serious.
On the ground, now. Sherry, tie her hands.
Why are you doing this?
Shut up. Tie her. Okay then. You tie her up now or she dies.
What's this all about?
Child endangerment for starters. Sherry, come here.
What are you gonna do to her?
None of your fucking business.
You hurt her, I swear to God, my brother is stars and I will
Sherry, get over here. What's your name? What's your fucking name?
Claire!
Sherry, you come with me now, or say goodbye to Claire.
Okay, I'll go. You better be taking me to my mom.
Absolutely.
Don't listen to him. He's full of shit.
Stop hurting her, please!
Don't tell me how to do my job.
Stop! Let me go! Let me go!
Obviously, nobody taught you manners. We'll fix that. Oh, yes, we will.
Let me go! Let me go!
I'll get you, you fucker! Stay safe, Sherry.
This scene is horrifying on so many levels, and people that like the OG criticize Chief Irons for being a disgusting character right off the start. There was no build up or anything. Here, I personally think it worked just because it was a disgustingly scary scene for me. Whatever he's up to, I'm really scared for Cheryl, and that was enough plot motivation for me to get going, definitely. Here we have the same work section, but this time instead of going back to the station by the same gate as Leon, we took a detour to Chief Irons' office, learning that he's also working alongside William Birkin to ensure that no one can find out about Umbrella's secret lab. After venturing down the station and solving some more puzzles, we found Mr. X once again, and in the exact same way.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door.
Going forward, we basically get the same two fuses that we used to open the cell gates on Leon's campaign, but here we used to open this door at Chief Irons' office so we can get the key card to open the shutter at the parking lot. But before we leave, we received a call from the devil itself.
Hello?
Good to see you again, Claire. We've got unfinished business.
Where's that?
In the neighborhood. You'll find it.
Sherry all right?
For now.
I swear, you bastard, if you hurt her...
Stupid kid. If you just hadn't dropped that fucking thing, I could let you go.
And now we have the Cheryl section, and this was pretty dark moment for me. I think they nailed what they're going for. This is a different type of horror, like when I talked about Kendo. It's not just about the zombies, the monsters. It is also how your mind and life experiences can turn into traumas. Those things are the true scares. So basically in this section, you have to escape Chief Irons, get his keys, and get out of the orphanage. You are completely defenseless, making this section tension crank up to 11. You start at your room, completing a set of puzzles to finally be able to use those scissors to cut this piece of cardboard so you can escape your room. After that, we go all the way down the stairs to finally find Aaron's keys hanging at the wall. But as you're trying to reach them, he finds out. As a way to defend yourself, you throw a bottle that contains some sort of a chemical that burns his face, reducing his sight slightly, so you have a room to run. Going back all the way upstairs, you have to hide while Chief Irons is looking for you. And the first time that you play this section is amazing. You don't know where he will be coming from. And it is such an anxiety-inducing moment that was on my toes at this point as he was trying to use his flashlight to find me. I really love how this set piece feels. Not long after, he goes to the bathroom to wash his face, and meanwhile, we manage to sneak the keys that he left hanging by the door, running all the way back to the main hall so we can escape, but sadly, we found out that the door is also chained up. We are stuck. So I run away as I lock this door, but not for long, as he watched The Shining too many times. And after a desperate escape, this happens.
Over. No!
Now you're in trouble.
Let me go! No, stop!
So back to Claire 30 minutes earlier, and now we need to rescue Cheryl. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm at home. Wait. Oh, this was the wrong script. Making my way to the orphanage, we have a really nice outdoor section. This is pretty much the street section from the original right at the start of the game. So instead of using the A scenario at start of the game, they just swapped to this moment. Going to the orphanage, we get another move reference that you guys probably already know.
Your fault.
What?
It took too long.
What happened? Oh God. Get off me! Oh my God.
Can still believe that the developers use a click reference. So Irons is dead, I'm happy, so we go down the sewers and find Cheryl and Mr. X. I run in front of Cheryl using her as a meat shield just in case Mr. X tries to punch me until this happens.
Sherry, come on.
Yes, Mr. X is dead, so Leon doesn't have to worry about him. We talk to Annette, and she seems to not care about Claire at all. She just wants to know about Birkin, but still shows some emotions towards Cheryl.
Can you help me find Sherry? Seems to be evolving much faster than expected. Where are you going?
Look, I don't have time to play 20 questions. Everything's under control.
I need to find Sherry.
My daughter is not your concern.
So we are once again at the sewers, and here is basically the same. The only thing that changes is the chess puzzle order, and now instead of rescuing Ada, we need to rescue Cheryl that got infected by Birkin.
Oh no. Sherry! Sherry, I'm coming! Hold on, Sherry. I'll be right there.
So basically, after redoing the entire sewer section, we can rescue Cheryl, but her infection is quickly getting worse.
Oh no. Sherry? Claire? Sherry, are you alright? What are you doing? I'm here to help.
Sherry's been implanted. She can't be saved.
Are you fucking kidding me? You're her mother. Get in here!
You don't understand. William is still out there, and if I don't stop him...
This conversation is over!
Wait! Wait! I can treat her. In my lab. It's not far away.
Mommy?
There's not enough time. Millions of lives are at stake. Sherry, Mommy loves you, sweetie. Goodbye.
Are you fucking kidding me? Sherry, don't worry. I will get you whatever you need, okay?
Why are you doing this?
Because I care.
Thank you, Claire.
So we took Cheryl to the nest, so she can get treatment and hopefully get rid of this thing for good.
Hey. Are you okay?
Your jacket's so warm.
My brother gave it to me. You know it's supposed to be lucky?
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Are you kidding me? You were doing just fine without me, so I came along and got you all sorts of trouble. I have something of yours.
I don't want it.
Really? Why not? It's so pretty.
It's for my mom. For my birthday last year. All I really wanted was for her to be home more.
I know it seems like your mom doesn't care, but... Hey, Sherry, come here. Hey, hang in there, okay?
Now, arriving at Nest.
It's okay. I've got you. Come on.
Poor Cheryl, she goes into so many awful situations that at this point, you really want to help her by any means. So we once again enter the nest, put Cheryl laid into the bed so she can rest, and we basically do the entire nest section all over again. The difference here is after using this solution, Mr. X will not appear for obvious reasons. And we use Cheryl's pendulum to get not the G sample, but a vaccine for her.
Oh, look at that. All right. Hell yeah. Got it. Oh, thank God. The antiviral agent. Gotta get back to Sherry.
Going back to Cheryl, we find Birkin once again with basically the same cutscene, but a little different this time. But overall, Annette explained once again about William, and we fight him once again in this epic battle. And I love this fight so much that I don't mind that at all. After beating Birkin once again, we go back to Cheryl so we can finally give her the vaccine.
I knew you'd make it. My mom needs help.
Annette? Sherry? How are you?
Okay. But you don't look so good. Mommy?
Hey, look at the screen. Oh, thank God. So Sherry's gonna be all right? She'll be weak for a little while, but yes. She's free of the G virus. Did you hear that?
What happened to her?
She was attacked by the monsters.
Don't
worry about me. Take my daughter to safety. I'm sorry, Sherry. For everything. Your life is what is important.
We can't just leave her here.
You're right, we can't.
Attention, unauthorized removal of a level 4 virus detected.
What does that mean?
It's a self-destruct code. In case the G virus leaves the building. Please. Save my daughter.
No!
Sherry? Please, Sherry. Listen. She loved you, okay? You really gotta get going. Come on.
You were right about this jacket. I'm so lucky to have you.
We can talk more about that later. We gotta hurry now. Come on.
Now it's basically the same thing. We run Cheryl to the elevator as the lab starts the self-destruct sequence. But instead of fighting Mr. X at the platform, we found a train that we can use to escape. And here is one hell of a boss fight. Go into this room to power up the platform to load the train card. You stumble upon a freaking minigun, and I don't care if this doesn't make sense and how Claire is handling this on her own with smooth movement. The only thing that matters is that it's badass as fuck. After releasing the platform and going back to Cheryl, we are greeted by William's last form. My god, this guy is tanky. I wasted all of my ammo at him, literally. And one really funny thing that happened, I had nothing to damage him, and he was almost dead. And after thinking through a bit, I killed him in the most unexpected way possible. So Birkin is dead, and now once again we are at the train. Leon appeared, and it's all good, right? No, it's not over yet. Birkin is still alive and kicking. So for one last time, I packed myself with everything that I had to give this monster one hell of a fight. And to be honest, the fight is basically the same as Granny from RE7. Just shoot, there is no mechanics or anything. Just unload everything that you got until he dies.
Car!
And that was Claire's campaign. It was amazing, I must say. However, here you can see how rushed it feels sometimes. Back in the original, there was a lot of moments that whatever you do on A scenario, it would affect the B scenario. And here, we doesn't have that at all. The only thing I stumble upon that shows that Leon was there is a note that he left in the STARS office, which I found out to be super nice. It's such a shame they run out of time, but the true question is, those major details affect the game to the point of being bad? A waste of remake? Of course not! This game is freaking amazing. Even though it lacks in some aspects compared to its original counterpart, it nails the rest. It's a great survival horror game with great mechanics, terrific boss fights, amazing storytelling, with stellar acting. All the survival horror aspects that everyone loves are present here, to item management, to great puzzles, and more. This is indeed a great remake that every horror fan should experience.
But if it's not, we'll stop it. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, you're damn right we will.
As long as we stick together, we'll be fine. Come on.
Hey, you guys can adopt me.
Adopt you?
We can get a puppy.
Puppy?
And a parrot.
With all that said, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you watched the whole thing until now, I want to thank you in the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch my content. I truly appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you agree or disagree, or want to expand the discussion even further, always with respect. Again, thank you guys so much for being awesome. Hope everyone has an amazing day, and don't forget,
You got